You think the danger starts when the lights go out. It doesn't. The real danger starts when you realize how many instincts you have that are quietly trying to kill you. A total blackout isn't dramatic at first. No sirens, no explosions, just silence, dead screens, and that creeping thought in your head that says, "This will be fixed soon." That thought alone has buried more people than looters ever will. The first mistake that gets people killed is waiting for normal to come back. Humans are pattern animals. Your brain is wired to assume continuity, to believe tomorrow will resemble yesterday. In a blackout, that wiring turns into a trap. You sit there conserving nothing, planning nothing, burning daylight because you expect help, updates, restoration crews. But infrastructure doesn't fail politely. Power grids cascade, water pressure drops, fuel pumps stop. The science is simple. Modern cities run on tight timing margins. When electricity disappears, every dependent system begins drifting toward failure at different speeds. The people who die early are the ones who spend the first 24 hours behaving like it's a temporary inconvenience instead of a system-level collapse. Survival begins the moment you accept that no one is coming on schedule. The second mistake is staying visible. Movies tell you that danger comes from chaos, but real blackouts create scarcity first, not madness. And scarcity sharpens attention. When lights vanish, humans revert to ancient scanning behavior. Eyes adjust, movement stands out, noise travels farther. The people who keep pacing their apartments, opening doors, checking windows, turning flashlights on and off, are broadcasting their presence. Darkness is not your enemy, attention is. Your pupils dilate within minutes, but artificial light resets that adaptation instantly. One careless flashlight beam through a window turns your home into a landmark. This works because the human visual system is extremely sensitive to contrast, not detail, especially in low light. The safest people in the first phase of a blackout are the quiet ones who learn to live dim, slow, and boring. Then there's the mistake nobody wants to admit: panicking about food while ignoring water. You can miss meals for days. You cannot miss hydration without consequences that cascade fast and brutally. Dehydration thickens your blood, impairs cognition, increases aggression, and destroys decision-making long before you feel thirsty. In a blackout, municipal water often continues briefly, but pressure drops without power, and contamination risk rises as treatment systems fail. People waste that window flushing toilets, showering, or assuming taps will work tomorrow. They don't fill containers, they don't ration. The ones who survive understand the math of the human body. Water first, calories second, comfort never. This works because cellular function depends on electrolyte balance, and once that collapses, no amount of food saves you. This section is based on practical field survival experience rather than formal academic sources. The fourth mistake is assuming violence is immediate and obvious. It isn't. The most dangerous phase of a blackout is not the first night. It's the social transition period when rules quietly dissolve, but habits remain. People still go to work. They still line up. They still knock instead of kick. That's when you get robbed by someone who smiles first. The psychology here is brutal. When authority disappears, humans don't become monsters instantly. They test boundaries, they probe, they borrow and don't return. They ask questions they don't need answers to. Survivors learn to shut down information flow. You don't explain what you have. You don't complain. You don't correct rumors. Information is currency, and every word you give away reduces your leverage. Another killer mistake is burning calories like the world is still optimized. In a blackout, the thermodynamics of survival change. Elevators stop. Vehicles are useless without fuel. Heating and cooling systems die. Your body becomes the primary engine, and engines require fuel. People pace, argue, reorganize, clean, exercise, all while their intake is dropping. That's how hypoglycemia sneaks in, dragging fatigue, irritability, and bad judgment behind it. Survival science has known this for decades. Conservation beats strength. The people who last longest are not the fittest, they are the most efficient. Sit more, move with purpose, think before you act. Every unnecessary motion is future weakness. The sixth mistake is trusting crowds. Humans feel safer together, but crowds amplify failure. They spread misinformation faster than disease. One wrong assumption turns into group behavior in minutes. They said power's coming back tonight. Someone heard water's contaminated. The store down the street still has supplies. None of it verified, all of it acted on. Crowd movement creates choke points, conflict, and exposure. Survival isn't about being antisocial, it's about being selectively social. 1 or 2 trusted people beat 50 desperate strangers every time. This works because group psychology under stress favors emotional consensus over factual accuracy. The final mistake is thinking tools will save you. Gear culture kills quietly. Flashlights, radios, generators, weapons, none of them matter without systems thinking. A generator without fuel discipline becomes a noise beacon. A radio without context feeds anxiety. A weapon without restraint escalates situations you could have avoided. The survivors are not the most armed, they're the most adaptable. They build routines, they control inputs and outputs, they sleep when others pace. They let scarcity thin the field while they remain invisible. Survival isn't heroic, it's patient, boring, and deeply uncinematic. Here's the truth nobody likes. Most people don't die in blackouts because of disasters. They die because they behave like it's still yesterday. If you remember nothing else, remember this: darkness doesn't kill you, your assumptions do.